I'm Venitra, the CEO and co-founder of Skole AI, and a recent AI PhD in the space who's super excited about all of the cool things that you have in front of you. And we're very happy to be collaborating with Team Harvard and NextGen Learning on these screencasts and beyond. So what you have in front of you is an app called N8N. N8N is something great for workflow automation. So they're all about agents, but specifically within agents, what they're trying to do is create this thing called agent builders. So you might have heard of the agent builder kit with OpenAI, and we have another video on that. But it's basically something that connects a lot of these different tools together to create automated workflows that work well for you, especially in a visual and hopefully easy to understand way. Now, the thing with N8N is that they give you a 2-week free trial and then you need to pay, but it's not so bad. And I'll walk you through one workflow that is their basic workflow, and then we'll try to create another cool one together. So this is what they call their test workflow. When you're thinking about agents, seeing this kind of flow chart and map is a great way to think about what happens first, what happens next, what is conditioned on what, etc. So here we have kind of a execute workflow button, which will just execute the workflow. But first I'll explain what's going on. There's an AI summary agent. In this case, it has a prompt. The prompt is summarize the world news and tech news from the last 24 hours. Don't have any comments, just have the 10 bullet points, which is super nice. You can require a specific output format. You can add a specific option. In this case, we want it to be GPT 4.1 mini with the free N8N credits, which is super nice. And then we're pretty much ready to go. So you can do a manual execution to check whether this works well. So you can execute previous nodes to view the input data, and then test it out as well. But if you go here, we can press the execute step. And we can see, okay, these were the news from the day. Great. Now, let's say we don't want to deal with output news summary. We want to go back to this notion of canvas, and we want to see what's happening. So it pulled from an OpenAI model. What's the summary of the news today? There's a notion of memory, which is like what the context is for the model, some other stuff that it knows about you, if there's a certain tool. And from the tool access, we have two tools. One is get text news from, I believe this is Reuters, from an RSS feed. And the second is get world news from another RSS feed, and this is actually using BBC. And I think the first one is also is using The Verge. So you can see what these RSS feed news sources are, and that goes into our model, which summarizes it, and the output is a news summary. So we do all of this. Now our output looks like something, and we have our output, all looks good. But what if we wanted to send this to ourselves by email? So what you can do is pull this connector and connect it here to send summary with Gmail. Now it has an error. So one problem that we see already is we need to sign in. So let's say, hey, I'm going to use my Skole account. It's going to be able to do lots of concerning permissions, but it will be okay. Because what we want is basically for it to send an email to myself about the world news and the news for the day. So when we execute this step, we should see that hopefully, if I pull up my email here, we see that we've gotten a news daily summary about the world news and the text news automatically generated with N8N. So this is one kind of workflow that you can do. Now, if you want to start from scratch, there's some nice features that they have. So you see this plus button, we can add a new workflow in Personal. So let's say we save this and we add a new workflow. Now there's two options. You can kind of create this canvas step by step personally, or you can build with AI. And you could say, hey, what I would love is this kind of automation. And it will literally help you create the canvas for it. So what I would love is to look at, take in a document and give me an image about the document for displaying on Instagram, Facebook, and let's say, for example, and a blog post about it. So we want kind of a complicated task here, a couple of different automations that come out. So let's see what it thinks about it. Note that on the free mode, there's some like monthly credits, so you can only do so many of these credits at a certain time, so many of these automations. But the good news is that you have a ton of executions, so these things can run a lot of times. Now it's working, it's working, it's working. It's understood some things, so it knows that this is a manual workflow configuration. When we create test workflow, that should happen. There's going to be document content, and it's assuming that my document is in the form of a CSV. That could be true, that could not be true. Let's say it's a PDF. Then we can generate the blog post, then we can generate the social media image, and that's exactly what we would like. So before it was saying, hey, this was a text. Now it's realizing, hey, I should generate an image. Hey, I should create a blog post. All of this is looking good.